can do whatever you
Welcome
like
back to
to
Media Talk. Joining Rob and I for this segment, we have David Castrucci, who drove a long way to come and be a part of Media Talk, and we appreciate that.
We do appreciate it. Thank you so much, David.
Welcome to the show. When you talk into the mic.
Thank you very much.
Okay, David, you are with Coretomic. What is Coretomic for people who didn't read the newsletter and know what that is?
Sure.
For people that don't do the research, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Coretomic is a interactive contract manufacturer. We work with advertising and creative agencies across the globe, and we're applying business principles from other industries such as electronics that have matured into contract manufacturing business models into the interactive world.
Okay, what does that mean? Like, give me an example.
Yeah, talk closer to the microphone and tell us a little bit, because this is complicated. We got to follow you here,
Sure.
I guess. All right.
Sure. Typically, we'll work with creative agencies to help them in everything from the sales process to help them acquire larger customers, larger projects, even in the definition stage of potential opportunities on interactive.
Do you help them identify potential clients?
Yes, we do. We will help them with proposals. We will help them pitch. We'll build the interactive assets for them.
All right. Well, so you're an online resource. So we go to Coretomic.com, let's say. What's the URL?
Yes, Coretomic.com.
Okay. Go there and say, all right, great, I want to be a member, right? I pay you to do this?
No, actually, we become a partner. If you look at the electronics industry, for example, the Apple iPhone.
Yes.
The Apple iPhone's not manufactured by Apple.
No.
Okay.
Right.
And what's happening in the interactive industry is that creative agencies are being tossed much larger projects, much more complicated projects, and their options for building these solutions are either an in-house team, which is challenging for them because they can't take on large amounts of work, they can't take on very complicated sets of work, or they outsource it to a web shop. And if you look at ad agencies across the country, the majority of them are small. There's about 20,000 of them in the United States. The majority of them are small, 10 to 20 person firms.
Right.
They typically can't build the interactive assets that their customers are demanding from them. And the web shops that they're outsourcing work to, again, are typically small, and they're having a challenge delivering on time, delivering on budget. So with our background in the electronics industry, we've taken business processes from the electronics industry and put them into the interactive industry. And so therefore, we do everything from help an agency sell, define, build, deliver, and we also have education.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You made a comment about ad agencies, if they don't use you or your product, are they going to be obsolete in the next 5 to 10 years? Why do you think that is?
Because other industries that are similar to this have proven to have those same types of trends. For example, last week, Dell had announced they're shutting down all their factories because they're going to go to outsourcing to contract manufacturing. They just can't manufacture fast enough, cost effectively, or produce things in the way that they need to produce them.
But is there a fine line between outsourcing and having somebody outsource your materials, building it based on your specifications, and or licensing? Like the demise of Apple or the demise of Mac was when they opened up their operating system to other people to be able to manufacture.
Yes.
And then the products were sold. Are you talking about the strict guidelines of being able to manufacture something and or that's under your name for you specifically?
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You both come from this creative industry.
Yeah.
And I'd assume that you'd like to be able to sell the largest projects that exist out there in the world.
Would be nice.
And you would like to be able to have no limits on your creative opportunities that
Right.
you're designing. What we do is we empower you to do that. So if you have a small team in-house or you outsource to a small team, you plug us in as part of your company, and it really gives you no limits on what you're capable of doing. And
Okay.
we have platforms that we build that help you build things very rapidly, low cost. We become part of the advertising agency as a teammate, as a partner, to help them grow the revenue.
Do you bring the foundation of web programming and content management systems with you?
Yes, we do.
To us. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Now I'm getting somewhere.
Yes, we do.
Click, click, click. That's good. I should have done some research. However, I got to tell you, I've been a little bit crazy. Now, I come to you. You have an enormous amount of assets available to us. So you're sort of the outsource company of us.
We own the assets. We build
Right.
the assets on a continual basis. Our job is to be excellent for you to deliver rapidly, on spec, high quality, be able to allow you to do things that the interactive industry might be doing in 2 years. We're researching them now. We're building internal assets to help you achieve those particular goals.
Wow,
Now,
that's
how
fantastic. I
long
like
has
that.
Coretomic been around?
Cortomic's been around almost 7 years at this point.
And how have you grown in the last 7 years?
Our growth has been dramatic in the last 6 to 12 months. We're getting to the point now, agencies of all sizes are starting to contact us because they're seeing the challenges with the interactive builds that they need to do at this moment.
Now,
Right.
you have operations locally here, and then you also have in another country, in Russia.
We do. We have facilities in Vermont, Colorado, and then in Russia.
Now, what's the difference? What determines the fact that agency A and agency B are coming to you? Now, agency A and agency B are competing in the world to get a piece of business.
Sure.
They're all
Perhaps
using
the same
you.
client, right?
I'm saying exactly the same client. I mean, you saturate it so much, you're going
Right.
to bump into redundancy somewhere. And I'm trying to figure out, how do you individualize, or how do you license, or how do you keep your proprietary content that somebody's subleasing from you only available to somebody to have that advantage or that edge? Because if my competition's involved with you, then we're basically, it's a selling it is only the markup and how much I'm willing to make or how much they're willing to make.
We have non-disclosures with every one of our customers.
Okay.
So there may be a particular partner of ours, agency A, that has a particular customer that they're working on. If we get into an agreement with them to help them on that project, we can't help the other agency at that point. We can still build things for them. We can deliver things for them.
But not for that particular project.
We won't help them sell in that
Gotcha.
project.
Who are some of your competitors?
It's kind of a funny field. There's nobody doing exactly what we're doing yet, but we predict that there'll be quite a few companies starting to come into this. It forces us to spend an awful lot of money on building a platform. For example, we just are announcing an entire dynamic platform at Amazon in the cloud that would allow you to sell to your customers. Let's say there's a football game this weekend and you've developed some interactive asset for that football game, and it's going to have a significant amount of bandwidth needs at that moment. In our new platform, you can just dramatically expand it as you need it, and then contract it down on Monday if things start to slow down.
Right. So you're only buying the bandwidth that you need, sort of, in a sense, or even the storage of the space.
Right. So we cover the end-to-end from sales all the way to the education.
Right, and that's all something that's done electronic. Is that all something that's done monitored by a computer, or is it a manual thing where you're going to go in and make it happen and then bring it back down and all that kind of stuff?
We have automatic solution systems that dynamically scale up and scale down.
So
Okay,
there's not somebody
fantastic.
actually there over the weekend or while you're
I'm
having the event.
wondering, I mean, like they sound like they're a very large organization, and I just wondering how far it's going, because a lot of things in beta versions, you're out there going, all right, crank it up a little bit. You crank it up, see if somebody's going to buy it before you invest, a year into the technology.
We need to go to break. I wanted to thank you for coming here, but before we go, what is your digital lockbox product?
A digital lockbox is a solution that we built as one of the assets for our what we call as the platform. So it helps our creative agencies manage their digital assets when they're working on a particular project, and allows their customers or their employees...
Security, obviously. Secured sites so they can go on.
Not just security, but collaboration around all digital assets on that particular project. And the product's been so successful that we're now selling it to medical practices, to hospitals, to law firms.
I saw that medical stuff on that link on your website. What is your website? How can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more or become a client of yours?
They can contact us at coretomic.com.
Coretomic.com. Fantastic. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you visiting us and coming down and sharing with us this incredible. It's not even a product. It's more of like a concept. It's a service. It's an ideal.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
For your time.
Appreciate it.
David, thank you. Rob, we're going to take our next break. As soon as you and I return, we're going to be chatting with Christian Leone.